What's up, y'all? I'm gonna try something a little bit different. When I initially started the YouTube channel, I wanted to just kind of do, I'm a conversationalist by nature. I like to talk to people, and initially I just wanted to, shoot videos just talking about various topics, and so I'm gonna take a shot in the dark just to see. Give a thumbs up if you like the video. But yeah, I think today I just kind of want to touch on Magic stepping down as the Lakers president. I'm really into sports, so my whole take on the thing is I'm actually happy for him. I mean, you never really know what's going on in a person's life. I think the assumption by most people is that people who are celebrities or athletes, professional athletes, are sort of immune to the feelings that a lot of us deal with on a day-to-day basis, and I don't necessarily think that's the case. I think that there are certain circumstances by which they exercise a level of professionalism, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that they're immune to how the things that they're going through make them feel. So I don't think any of us really know the pressure that comes along. And some people say, well, you know the pressure when you step into it, that it's a pressure cooker type situation. I think for athletes, you can handle the pressure. I think it's some of the other things that Magic touched on in his interview last night that you're not necessarily prepared for if you've never really dealt with that, in terms of like some of the backstabbing that he talked about and some of the some of that kind of stuff. I think that in life, if you're those of us that work regular jobs, we're not rich, you sort of learn to take things and let it roll off your back because you have to, not because you want to, but because you have to. So I think for professional athletes or people that are in those types of positions, especially when you're someone like Magic, who he doesn't need the job, I think he wanted to sort of step away from it. And it's, at the same time, I was listening to Stephen A and Max on First Take this morning, and Stephen A made some good points. He was talking about how he feels like Magic was trying to call attention to it by doing it the way that he did it, in terms of the timing, because it would have been easy for him to say, okay, I'm done, the season will be over here in a few days, I'll wait a week or whatever, and then I'll just sort of ride off into the sunset. He didn't do it that way. I think that he was very methodical in the way that he did it, just like Stephen A was saying, and that he did it at a time when he knew that all eyes would be on him. And so I think in terms of calling attention to some of the things that he feels like were going on behind the scenes, I think it definitely calls into question, loyalty and all of that kind of stuff. But it also calls into question the direction that Jeannie Buss is going to take the Lakers. I'm not a Laker fan, but I do respect the organization and I respect their history. And so if you're a basketball fan or if you're a sports fan, you want to see the Lakers restored back to not necessarily dominance, but you want them to be relevant. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Knicks fan, and so I want the Knicks to be relevant. Eventually, I want us to compete for championships, and hopefully in the not too distant future we'll do that. But teams like the Knicks, the Lakers, you want those teams to be relevant because it makes the sport more interesting when they're relevant. So yeah, I mean, I think he was trying to call attention to some of that stuff just for the simple fact that you've got people that are a part of the organization now, Rob Pelinka, LeBron, and this isn't taking shots at those guys, but I think that their interests are self-interests in that they want to win championships. LeBron wants to win another championship, but I think that LeBron wants to win another championship for LeBron. Like, whatever team LeBron's a part of, he wants to win championships. I don't necessarily think he's interested in furthering the legacy of the Lakers. You know what I mean? And I could be wrong. You know what I mean? Like I say, that's not a shot at LeBron at all. If it comes across that way, I apologize. Because I'm not a LeBron hater at all. I respect what he's done, everything that he's been able to accomplish in basketball. But yeah, I do think that Magic was just trying to restore some integrity to the organization and to the franchise. Because I think coming up under Dr. Buss and Jerry West when he was still a part of the organization. I think Magic had an opportunity to see the Lakers run with a little bit more class, and I think he wants to restore some of that to the organization. And I think that was his sort of subliminal way of calling attention to some of the things that he sees as classless. And I have a lot of respect for that. I mean, like I said, I can't speak to it personally. None of us can. We can only speculate. But I do think that there is a lot of legitimacy to what Stephen A. Smith was saying in terms of the timing of everything. So, yeah, man, that's just kind of my take on that. Wish Magic the best. And I feel like he's a really class dude. He's a really good guy. I do think that he was trying to act in the best interest of the organization by bringing LeBron. Don't know if personally that's the move I would have made. I would have liked to have seen the Lakers continue to go down the road they were going down in terms of working with the young guys. I mean, I would have loved to seen them keep D'Angelo Russell, Julius Randle, and those guys and just see how they can grow. I mean, it's sort of like looking at Golden State, and if you look at Golden State 7-8 years ago, before they actually started to take off, they had some growing pains that they went through. Steph had his ankles, and a lot of people were kind of writing Steph Curry off and saying that he was going to be a bust, but they stayed the course. And the same in Philadelphia, they trusted the process. And I just feel like we lack as a society, but especially when it comes to sports, we lack patience. And I just wish that Magic and the rest of the organization would have continued to go down the road that they were going down, because I do feel like eventually the light bulb would have gone off, in those young guys' heads, and in the long run, they would have been able to take a look at the moves that they were making, which I feel like was Mitch Kupchak's sort of plan. I don't know if, due to the fact that they didn't seem to be making progress, if that's the reason why they just sort of abandoned ship and went the LeBron route. But I do wish they would have continued to go down the route that they were going down, but they didn't. So, the route that they're going down now is the LeBron route, and I'm hopeful for their sake that it works out for them. Wish them all the best. Wish Magic the best. So, yeah, man, I just kind of wanted to touch on that today. I just kind of wanted to get y'all's take. If you would like to leave a comment down below and we can kind of discuss it a little bit more, I'm definitely open to that. But, yeah, just kind of wanted to throw it out there, give my 2 cents. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching, and definitely don't forget to like, comment, and or subscribe. Subscribe. Please. All right. Thank y'all. Deuces.